Well, hello and welcome to a sort of special video on this channel. In this one, I will introduce my randomizer and also the other interesting things that I've implemented here, like the interactions database, the combo database, the kingdom oracle, and the database for card-shaped objects in general. And in this video, I think it's going to be quite long, so I will put a lot of timestamps so you can skip to whatever you deem to be interesting. And I will try to go through everything one by one and try to give a good introduction to any of the features. Now, this website is called randomkingdominion.streamlit.app. And I know it's a bit clunky, but all of the good randomizer names for Dominion kingdoms like Randominion or I don't even know, Random Kingdom, whatever, had already been taken. So I went with Random Kingdom Minion. And the .streamlit.app in there is because I'm having this website hosted on Streamlit, which has very nice Python integrations, and I don't need to know that much about web development to set this up. And yeah, anyways, that's the introduction. Let's have a brief look at the randomizer, and then I will hopefully go through this in a nicely structured way, but probably it's going to be a bit chaotic. So when you open this website, I mean, I didn't set anything up where you can even reload it. When you open this website, you are greeted with this yeah, with this page of where you can select some options for randomizing a kingdom, and you can immediately press randomize new kingdom, and it will do that for you and provide you with the common view. You will be able to see the card-shaped objects like the cards and the landscapes, and the little tooltips give you also the information from which expansion they are from, and also let you click them in case you don't know what, I don't know, Tanuki does. And if you click that, it will immediately open a tab of the Dominion Strategy website. So that's the basic randomizer, and one very important thing in my opinion is that I provide this descriptive string to copy for this randomized kingdom. So of course this is you don't need this if you set the kingdom up in physically, like getting the cards out and playing physically. But if you want to play this kingdom online, you might want to just copy this descriptive string, then go to your favorite Dominion client. I'm using the TDG client, but the Dominion.games website also works for this. And here I tried out some things, and then you can just, I think usually you will be greeted with, let's see whether we can, yeah, usually you will be greeted with this, and then you can click cards, paste the kingdom. I just pasted it there. And then you can immediately go and play it against, for example, the hard AI or other players. So that's what this copying function is for. And yeah, I provide reroll buttons for each of the cards. Like if you, for example, think that, I don't know, a Ronin is a boring card, which it isn't, you can reroll it and it will regenerate the kingdom with the rerolled cards. Also, there will be, if you play in physical play, it will tell you which extra setup components you will need, like the horses, sun tokens, the trash mat. And if you think that's too much information and you don't want the reroll buttons here, you can also have the more compact view. You can sort it by expansion instead of cost. And you can also have the full image is shown, a lot of options. And also on the sidebar, there will appear a kingdom plot, which I will get into later. Yeah, this you can also view if you so want to. If you don't want to get spoiled as to what this kingdom is about, then you can just leave it closed like this. I will now go through all of the different views here, but yeah, feel free to skip to any of the timestamps if you're more interested in the Oracle or the card database. And also, I will only later discuss the randomization options in detail. So there's also the reroll view where you get to reroll multiple cards at once. I think usually it should be all right to just click on single cards to reroll them, but you can reroll multiple cards one by one, and it will do so for you. And now we got joust, like, so we need to probably set up the rewards pile and all of this stuff. The kingdom plot now has plus buy, and it all nicely works together. There's a data view, which is essentially the same as a reroll view, but it also shows you a bit more information about the cards, like also certain qualities, like the village quality, draw quality, thinning, and so on, and also what kind of villages and draws and things you have in there. I will explain this in a bit as well, like what these qualities actually mean. Now, also there is an overview plot that can be generated for you, which contains the kingdom plot plus some extra information like the expansions and a summary of all of the things we've just seen. Like here, you will then know that okay, there is thinning of any and the remodel types, and then there's scaling victory points. Probably I didn't even see what was in there. Yeah, there's fairgrounds, which is scaling victory points. Also, you can see the individual cards qualities, like the thinning and the gains for Tanuki, and here for fairgrounds, like just by hovering over them. And yeah, that's the overview plot. It's a bit on the slow side, but I think that's an okay trade-off. And also, I have an extra tab for just the components. If you want to set it up in physically, then you can look here, the cards and landscapes, and group by expansions. Unfortunately, I haven't figured out or I haven't gotten around to group cornucopia and cornucopia 2E things together. This will make sense for sure. But yeah, you also get to, again, see the extra components you need. And finally, there is this interactions tab, which lets you know about special rules interactions within the kingdom, or even special combos, synergies, and rushes. But the combos, synergies, and rushes you might not want to spoil. Might not want to be spoiled, so I'm hiding them in this expander. But in this kingdom, there is no special combo found. And yeah, that's the view of the kingdom in general. And this view you can also achieve for any kingdom you want to view yourself. Like you don't need to randomize a kingdom to view it, but you can also just go to, let's copy this once again. You can go to the kingdom oracle and then type in the cards or the kingdom you want to view yourself. For example, you have a kingdom where you have young witch, and the Bane is the moat, and then there's chapel, there is, I don't know, money lender, and then you press enter, and it will tell you why this is not a valid kingdom for once, but also it will try to generate the kingdom for you, and you can also see this overview plot and all of those things. So if you put in a full kingdom like we just had, that this is just the one, yeah, you just rolled, it will display the same thing as in the randomizer, and it will also give you the descriptive string to copy here. Also, as you see over here, you have sets of existing kingdoms to visualize in the Kingdom Oracle. For example, you can look at the recommended kingdoms and look, for example, at first game, classic, which will also give you the descriptive string if you want to copy it and play it, and will show you the kingdom plot of this kingdom, any interactions and combos. I don't think there are any, but yeah, that's something you can look for. And you can also, if you want to, for example, look at a kingdom that contains ally or any card or any combo you want, like for example priceless rice, you can just put in the CSO you want to view, and then it will give you one of the kingdoms containing ally. Also, you can filter for the different combo types. The different combo types I will explain in a second. But apparently there are no rush kingdoms, but there are a few kingdoms that feature strong combos. For example, let's look at No Money Down. What's the combo here? Can you see it? And I think that the combo might be like Cavalry Stockpile or something like that. If we go to Interactions, we can see, yeah, exactly, Cavalry Stockpile, and there's also the Villa Stockpile Synergy. And yeah, I'll get into more detail about this in just a second. But you could also just filter for kingdoms that include quirky rules interactions or that do not include any quirky rules interactions. And you can do the same for the dailies. The dailies are in the Temple Games client, and by now in this database there are almost 1,000 of those kingdoms, like 1,000 dailies. You can see them all here. And as you can see, there's also some more information displayed with them, like the win rates that I've gotten from the developer of Templegates games. There are the expansions, like also for the recommended kingdoms, and sometimes there are names and this video icon, and this just means that that I have done a video on this, and the video will also be displayed down here. You can watch it if you so want to. And just as before, you can also filter for dailies with a playthrough link. As you can see, I've done videos for 130. Of course, there are other people that have also done very nice videos, like Jane Ailes, Sharur, Arden, Udai, lots of people earlier on, even Mick Kuznok. And yeah, I do not feature their video links yet. Maybe in the future I will integrate that, but it's a bit of work and for me it was easiest to just put in my own video links for now. But yeah, this is pretty fun. For example, you can also look for kingdoms that feature, I don't know, astrolabe and maybe whatever spices if you're that kind of person. And now you will see 36 kingdoms feature either astrolabe or spices, but you can also say require all, and then there's only one kingdom that featured astrolabe and spices. And also you can filter the dailies by win rate. Oh, I messed this up. I think this is not. I think that the column width should be swapped. The checkbox should be much lower. But here you could, for example, look at only those kingdoms that have a win rate between 0 and 0.08, and then go to random selection, and it will give you this kingdom, which I don't know what kind of win rate it had. Actually, maybe I should display this somewhere. But yeah, here you can see, for example, there's this Replace Rumble kingdom that had a win rate of, what was it, 4.8, super low, probably because of Encampment Plunder, which the AI tends to know how to play. Anyways, so this is that. We have the recommended, the dailies, that also you can look at the campaign kingdoms. Also here I've for now only provided video links to my own playthroughs, but Sharor or Jane Ailes or Arden have also done videos on those. The Reddit's Kingdom of the Week, I haven't updated this for quite a while, so you see and also the names aren't super descriptive. This 19th of August is probably from last year when I last updated them. But still, if you want to look at the kingdoms of the week. And finally, I provide some extra kingdoms that I've stumbled upon, which, for example, this one was pretty fun. I don't know whether you can see this. It's called Crazy Chameleon, but there is like this Patron Crossroads Chameleon combo. If you look at the interactions and combos, indeed there are, well, I'm calling it a synergy. Combos need to be a bit stronger than that. But yeah, that's the Kingdom Oracle for you. As I said, you can use this display of existing kingdoms, but you can also just input your own. And that wraps up the Oracle. All of those cards contribute to these kingdom plots, and these kingdom plots are generated automatically from the cards in the kingdom. And to look at what qualities the individual cards have, you can go to the card and landscape database. Now, this is called CSO Database, again, short for card-shaped object, to include cards, landscapes. In this case, also, I know might not be completely true, and I haven't found a better descriptor, but also the campaign effects for the TGG campaigns. But I have provided a lot of filtering options here as well. So, for example, if you want to look at all of the cards that feature something like at the start of your turn, you can see, okay, these are the things that do stuff at the start of your turn. And also, I've provided some extra examples here, like the regexp filtering lets you do filtering for any cards that give +3 or +1 or whatever. Also, if you want to, so the card-shaped objects do have these qualities, and the qualities have different quality types, as you saw earlier. So you could search the quality types for anything like, let's say, scaling victory points. And then you will find all of the things that give you some sort of scaling victory points. Or you could search for all of the things that give you. I think oh, sorry, that's not the thing. That I had the thing that I had written down something I wanted to showcase here. Yeah, I guess, I mean, you can also search for the CSO types to include, I don't know, duration. But actually, for this, I would rather recommend you to leave this filter open and not filter anything, but rather go to types and filter here, because it's a bit more sophisticated. And here you can, for example, filter for all action attacks or attack treasures, or even just the duration treasures. Duration. Okay, there is no attack action duration treasure, but there are a bunch of treasure durations. And then also I offer the opportunity to copy the selection as a comma-separated list of all CSOs to your clipboard. Copy this, then we could go to the Kingdom Oracle, paste it, and it would generate a kingdom from that. Of course, here, since Amphora and this chalice and figurehead and jewels are loots, they won't be featured in the kingdom, and it will tell us that there's something incomplete. But yeah, this is what you can do with that kind of stuff. You can also look at, again, I'm by default excluding some of the columns, but if you don't want to look at those quality columns, but just the raw costs, expansion types, and text, you can do that. And you can also exclude other columns if that's too much information. Another thing you can always do is sort here by any of the columns. And also there are two columns that tell you how many combos or interactions these CSOs are featured in. Of course, and that's a huge disclaimer, this list is not exhaustive. I've come up with many of the interactions and combos to my best knowledge, but I'm 100% sure that I've missed a lot of them. So if you find more, then let me know. But yeah, that already. Or do we want to? Yeah, maybe we want to look at combos and interactions now. We will go all the way around to the randomizer last, I think. So what are rules interactions? What do I mean by this? Now, this is a project that was initiated by Nave the Muser on the Dominion Discord. And there is a channel for it called Rules Lookup Project. And in there you can discuss any interactions or suggest ones that are not in here. And the interactions featured in here are not your typical like village smithy interactions. I mean, that's pretty obvious that this is a thing that you can chain whatever. No, what's featured here is are things that are a bit tricky. Like for example, let's look for fleet interactions, and fleet has interesting interactions with all of the extra turn givers, as it will only provide you an extra turn if there is an extra if there is another player having a turn afterwards. And yeah, you can always click on here to see the full text, and it will show you the images, the expansions, and you can also filter this for anything you want. Like the 1E CSOs are the first edition CSOs are excluded by default, but we can also include them if we so want to. In the expansion filter, we can also require the same expansions, which is nice if you're looking for interesting. But this is a bug. No, this is not a bug. Probably the description is wrong, but okay. Sorry, I got distracted there. But it will tell you all of the interactions of durations with Way of the Chameleon, that it only is valid on this turn, and City State, Band of Nomads. If you cause a shuffle, you won't be able to play the card you just gained, of course. Yeah, these are the kinds of interactions that are featured here. Some are rather niche, some are really um, game breaking in some sense. So you might want to, but these are also the interactions that are drawn from when a kingdom is randomized. And let's look at a random daily and displayed here. So if this says no special rules interactions, then you won't find any interactions between two cards right here. If you want to contribute, as I said, please join the Discord, go to the rules lookup project, and suggest some there. Now, also very interesting and pretty fun, in my opinion, are the combos, the pairwise combo synergies, and more. By now, I've come up with 481. Some of them feature the same card. Some of them are a bit edge casey, like you require some sort of condition. But most of them are straight up strong things that can happen in Dominion. And you can read the description of what I mean by rush, combo, synergy, weak synergy, counter, or number over here. And yeah, this also allows you to easily filter for anything. Like if you just want to look at counters, those are usually things like 44 things where stuff just straight up counters, for example, attack cards, or even in the case of biding time, like biding time is countered a lot by Haunted Woods. These kinds of things are in here. Numbos are things that where you would expect things to work out nicely, but in the end they are anti-synergizing, like bureaucracy with anything that gives you horses. Capital Herbalist, even if you top deck a Capital via Herbalist, thinking that you might circumvent the debt, then you won't. And yeah, all of this stuff is in here. I think I've written down some other things. Yeah, please, let's also look at a card, for example, King's Court. Let me spell it wrong just to show you. This will also tell you anything that's spelled wrong. There are no numbers with King's Court, but if we activate all of those different filters, then we see that there are some synergies. There's one synergy of King's Court and 3 more or less combos that in these cases require some draw cards. And I've also provided links here, as you can immediately go to YouTube channels describing those combos if I found anything about them. And sometimes I also didn't find any showcase videos. In that case, I've just provided playthroughs of my of myself, or also Janails, Mick Kuznok, and others, as you can see over here, heavily influenced by my own viewing habits. Now, I think that covers the combos. I hope you will have fun exploring them. You can also filter for just those combos that have YouTube links attached. And right now there's a filter for King's Court as well. So if we remove that, we can see that we have all sorts of combos and synergies popping up in different dailies and the different matches, whatever. Yeah, I can really check. I really recommend you to check out this Genial's video if you haven't done so. It is super fun. And yeah, that wraps up the discussion of the combos. Now, okay, before we before we go to the Kingdom randomizer, first look at the About page, just to also view what I mean by those kingdom qualities. Because, yeah, the core concept of this website, and also you can use that in the randomizer, are those kingdom qualities. And I've identified 6 or 7 different important qualities for a kingdom, where the seventh, the interactivity, is kind of, I don't know. It was a fun thing, fun concept at first, but I've kind of neglected it, and it is also not shown in the kingdom plot. But you might find it interesting anyway, so I kept it in there. But for engine building, of course, villages, draw, thinning, gains, attacks, and OVP play a huge role. And now every card, every individual card has these qualities assigned to it. And yeah, as you saw earlier, those scale from 0 to 3, where 0 implies the non-existence of a feature and 3 is the best a CSO can have. Like, let's look at the gain qualities. Like when you look at the subpages, you will already have the filter to the CSO database here. You can sort by the gain quality, descending. And we see, okay, Bridge, Ironworks, Wharf, University are those that have the gain quality of 3. And then quickly after, lots of things with gain qualities of 2 follow. And the ones with weak gain qualities, like, I don't know, stuff like Dismantle, it's a bit awkward to gain stuff with. Why is Townsfolk here? Actually, I think that's a bug. Like, okay, we can also look at the gain types, because Townsfolk has specific gains. No, that's wrong. Yeah, anyways, I'm gonna fix this after the video. Got Acolyte. No, of course. Town Crier can gain you silver, so that's a very weak gain quality. And Swap also does not provide gains per se, but it can, yeah, kind of remodel things into other stuff. So I've also included remodels in this gain quality. But yeah, so these are the qualities each individual card gets, and then from this, if we have a kingdom, we take all of the cards and look at each individual quality to calculate an overall score. And this is what is then shown in this kingdom plot you've seen earlier as well. And the formula for this is a bit convoluted, but I think it works quite well. So we need 4 cards with qualities of 1 to reach an overall quality of 2. And then we need 3 cards with a quality of 2 to equal to a single quality of 3. That's a typo, the 4 here. And 2 cards equal to a single quality of 4 to go 3 to go to a full quality of 4. Like this quality of 4 is supposed to be reached rather rarely, and indeed it is. But essentially, a kingdom with gains, thinning, draw, and village at 2, I would usually confidently say that you can build an engine, especially if you have buys. And then there's also this buy indicator that lets you know, are there buys? Well, the three categories for this are no buys, maybe, and buys, and maybe indicates key cards that can provide extra buys, but only under certain conditions, like city or animal fair. Now I feel like I've been rambling a lot about this stuff, so let's go to the randomizer and actually randomize a few kingdoms. If you're interested in, like, for example, more information on those gain qualities, then you can read through everything I've written here. Oh man. It's embarrassing, but I'm going to try to fix those little bugs and typos, whatever, after finishing up this video. And yeah, back to the randomizer. So the randomizer lets you randomize for the different expansions you would like to do. For example, if you want to play a base and Dark Ages game for whatever reason, maybe, but you like the sadness of that, then you can randomize that. And on the sidebar, you will always be able to see the selected expansions. Also, you can select different expansions. For example, you can select all of the expansions you own here, and then limit the number of expansions to at most 3, for example, to draw from this pool of expansions to then only have 3 of them be featured in the kingdom, which might be nice in physical play. So you only have to get out 3 of the boxes and not all of them. And the reroll should also honor this. So here in this case, we have intrigue. Actually, we can look at the king. No, the king plot doesn't. But here we have intrigue, cornucopia and guilds to E, and adventures, but not more, even though we've specified more expansions. And you can also very quickly select all of the things except for the first edition. But still, with this 2 expansion limitation, it will for sure only give you 2 expansions. In this case, allies and base, whatever. Now let's allow for a few more, or just disable this again. You can also I don't know, exclude certain card types. If you, for example, for whatever reason, do not like action cards and you do not like knight cards, then you could generate a kingdom probably with only treasures and victory cards pretty easily using this. And yeah, that is that. Also for colony and platinums, if the usual thing, how those are decided are the number of, like the probability of rolling colony and platinum is proportional to the number of prosperity cards used, and so are the number of shelters, or are shelters to the number of Dark Ages cards. But you can also, if you so want to, use your own colony platinum probability here. And if we use like, even if there are no prosperity cards, then this would roll a kingdom with colony and platinum featured, and it would tell you right here. Now let's go back to this and like this stuff, and you will always see what you have selected here as well, like the colony and platinum percentage, the card types you exclude, and so on. Landscapes also, you can go to, for example, you can say, okay, I want to, this is a bit clunky, I want to feature between 1 and 3 landscapes instead of 0 to 2, or you want to force 4 landscapes, that can also be done here. And yeah, now it will even give us 5 landscapes because it has rolled liaison in contract, so it generated this ally. Yeah, just very important that allies and prophecies are not included in those in this limit. And you can also disallow certain landscape types. So for example, let's exclude all of the events, projects, tries, and ways, and generate a kingdom with 4 different landmarks, and have some fun with that. And here already, okay, it tells you, maybe I should remove this, because this also tells you that 4 landscapes is wrong. Dominion shouldn't be played like this. It should only be 2 landscapes at most, but yeah, you can of course have all the fun you want to have. And that is that. So let's reset this. Actually, I should probably add a reset button somewhere for this kind of thing. And now also, now that we've looked at all of those engine qualities, these are not featured in the sidebar yet. This is on my to-do list, but we can go for enable all, and then it will set all of these things to at least 2. And let's look for the interactivity. Let's not require a minimum, but for example, we could exclude attacks, and we could say, okay, we want a kingdom with no gains and no attacks, but lots of engine qualities, given village, draw, thinning, and alt VP. And now we generate this kingdom, we randomize it, and we look at the kingdom plot, and indeed it has generated a kingdom without gains and attacks, and still a lot of things to do, probably, like alt VP and monument, and biding time being a strong prophecy. So yeah, you can really use this to curate kingdoms that you would really like. And here, for example, also can exclude certain gain types. For example, if you don't want any buys in your kingdom, if you don't want any like if you want to force a kingdom that doesn't have buys or conditional buys, then you can do that as well. Like right here, this one now has some gains in inventor and altar and enlarge, but it doesn't feature any plus buy. So this is the way to do this. Here, these little icons tell you down here, like this is what I want to put here as well, what is going on with that. And yeah, you can also reset everything here. And one final thing, you can ban cards, require cards, dislike cards, and like cards to have them appear with a higher probability. And finally, one of the more powerful things, let's again say, okay, we go to the database, we have some fun looking for reaction cards here. Okay, why is... okay, of course, a reactionify is the only thing that has a reaction in its text. What I wanted to do was, of course, this. Let's go for things that are reactions and maybe, let's say, also attacks. And we want to play with those, so we copy the selection, we go to the Kingdom Randomizer, and we go to the starting from, insert this, and maybe we want chapel with that as well. Press enter to apply, and it will tell us which cards we've selected. And then we randomize the new kingdom with the options selected below, and indeed Black Cat, Clerk, and Chapel will be in this kingdom. Now, one thing that might also happen if you exclude too many mechanics or things, yeah, let's say you exclude actions, victory cards, treasures, and then you only have knight cards, I think, that could be rolled here. And then it will probably, oh well, with the starting cards that we have put in, it has enough knight cards to generate. But now there might be, there's still enough knight cards to be generated. Knight. And we go for just victory cards by excluding everything but victory of the basic types. And also this works out. What I want to show you is, well, let's also ban victory cards. Let's be completely mean. If the generation of the kingdom fails, it will also tell you that it's been too strict. Actually, this shouldn't say successful, it should say not successful. But anyways, Yeah, I think that wraps up this video. For more information about the different things, you can look over here. In the future, I plan to feature a configuration file that you can upload to not like currently it's unfortunately not very user friendly in that it doesn't remember your expansion selection usually, and it doesn't remember any of the things you put in for your randomizer. Still, I'm rather happy with how it turned out for now. But in the future, I might want to try to use cookies for remembering that kind of stuff, and also, yeah, let you upload a config file. Yeah, for example, if we exclude base here, we go to the Oracle and go back. I think it forgot. No, actually, for now, like this is remembered even that we've deselected base here. But if we were to close the tab and reload it, I think it deletes all of the internal information, and it will have base again. Yeah, so that is what I mean. Some persistence, some cookies. Then a kingdom history would be nice, so you could like have your own tab of within the kingdom oracle. Now everything seems to be completely broken because I reloaded it. What's going on? Maybe it's my internet connection actually just being slow. Yeah, like your own tab with a history of kingdoms that you've randomized, that you've looked at, whatever. And other things, yeah, quality of life things like putting everything that you've selected here also in the sidebar so you can see what your options are currently. But yeah, another thing might be to force combos or rules interactions. Currently, what you can do is you can go here, can select your favorite combo of, I don't know, Alms Cavalry or Alms Hostelry. You can go here, just type in Alms and Hostelry, and it will generate a kingdom with that, and you can have fun with that and see, okay, it's indeed the interactions, the combos contain. Oops, I've deselected it again. Yeah, I contain Alms and Hostelry. But yeah, how long is the video actually? 42 minutes, man. I'm sorry, but I had a lot I wanted to showcase here, and I hope you made use of the timestamps to navigate this video. And yeah, check out the website. It's available for free, and I will update it from time to time. Like the dailies probably will not be up to date every day, but rather maybe every week. Sometimes it takes me a few months to update them again. But yeah, I hope this is a useful tool for your kingdom generation, and I will catch you in the next video, hopefully. And then until then, goodbye.